Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I want to give you a recap on my Recomp diet. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you haven't watched it, you're going to want to watch the initial video where I explained what I was doing, or else most of this won't make a lot of sense to you. So I'm going to talk about the results and how I felt about it, if I do it again, so on and so forth. First of all, let me just give you, what happened to me. Weight-wise, I dropped roughly 3 pounds. I was weighing in at about 210 to 212, and now I'm weighing in roughly about 27 to 29. So, I'll call it 3 pounds. And I also don't think it's water weight because I watched my water weight go up and down. That was that 3 pound range I gave you. It was almost like clockwork. Like on the first low calorie day, my weight would go down a little bit. On the second low calorie day, it would go down a bit more. On the morning of the refeed day, my weight would be at its lowest. And then at the day after the refeed, it would be high again, and it would repeat that cycle. So while water weight did fluctuate, the actual weight that I lost, I don't feel as water. Strength-wise, I managed to maintain or increase in the lifts, but it was a marginal increase. What I mean by that is I didn't go up like a full 5 pounds on anything. I didn't actually add like a plate to the bar. Sometimes it was a rep, sometimes it was, doing 5 pounds more but 1 less rep. So while strength was either maintained or slightly increased, these increases were like 1 to 3% increases, so they weren't necessarily significant. That's not to say I just wasn't having a bad gym day last max out and a good gym day this one. That could have also accounted for that kind of a weight shift. But nothing went down, everything either marginally increased or maintained. So that is technically, for what I had set out to accomplish, that's okay, that was acceptable. I got visibly leaner, nothing dramatic. I didn't take before and afters, and it wasn't anything like, oh my god, look how much leaner he got doing this Recomp. It wasn't anything like that. A 5-week cut would have got me much, much leaner, but I was visibly leaner from beginning to end after the 5 weeks. So that was also what I'd hoped to accomplish. Now, moving forward, I had some options. I could spend another 5 weeks doing this Recomp diet. I could start my cut now, but probably still a little too soon if you want to be lean for the summer months, or I could go back to bulking, and I'll explain why I chose what I did. Now, with these results, they were acceptable. I could have easily gone another 5 weeks, and it probably would have been okay, but I didn't want to because this style of eating is not enjoyable, especially for someone who likes to do flexible dieting. This isn't flexible at all. When you're trying to keep carbs low and fats high, it really limits you to a certain set of foods, and then on your refeed day where you almost have to keep fat null, it limits you to another certain set of foods. And the one set of foods that most people enjoy the most, foods with high carb and high fat, there's no day to eat those foods. When you're doing regular, if it fits your macros or flexible dieting, you can eat those foods in moderation every day. And I was very used to eating those foods every day. And if you watch, those 5 weeks worth of All You Can Eat Wednesdays, you'll see the days are slightly repetitive. I'm tending to eat the same thing. Eating 800 carbs sounds awesome until you do it while only eating 20 or 30 grams of fat. Then it kind of sucks. It really limits what you can have. And the high fat days are the same thing. All that bacon and cheese and stuff is great, but you can't have any carbs with it. So not fun, hard to adhere to. Could I have done it another 5 weeks? Probably. 5 weeks after that, probably not. I would have probably gone insane. So that was my major concern. The second thing that I have to question, would I have been better off just doing a 5-week mini cut where you just do a hard aggressive cut, you jump right into your cutting calories, fairly steep deficit, and then after the 5 weeks you go right back into bulking. There could have been a good argument for that too. That might have been more effective. In 5 weeks, I don't think I would have lost significant strength. I probably would have doubled my weight loss. Instead of like 3 pounds lost, it probably could have been even 6 to 8 if my deficit was steep enough. But there certainly wouldn't have been any strength gains whatsoever using that approach. And it would have been a wicked 5 weeks in the gym. It would have been pretty brutal. But I could have also still done my flexible dieting, still kind of eaten what I want, just less of it. So that would have been a pro. So that approach, if you're just going to do it for 5 weeks, the mini cut might be the better option. The one advantage that this Recomp has over the mini cut is, since I am going to switch back into bulking, I'm going to give it at least another 5, possibly 10 weeks of bulking before I do my official cut. This refeed is nice that I can go directly to bulking. I don't have to spend any time at maintenance figuring out where my bulking calories are, because technically I never left maintenance. The refeed was a maintenance diet. So I'm ready to jump right back into bulking right where I was. I don't have to waste any time. So that is a definite plus. Even on a mini cut, you can get back into your bulking quicker than on a lengthier cut, but you still should spend a week or 2 at maintenance levels. You don't have to do that with the refeed, so that's nice. So my concluding thoughts are going to be these. If that style of dieting doesn't bother you, and I mean, I feel like 90% of you are going to be bothered by it, because I'm pretty whatever with what I eat at this point, and it was even getting to me quite a bit. So if you can get over that, it's probably a decent idea. I think if you did it 10 to 15, even 20 weeks, your results are going to be more dramatic and you're going to be happier with them. You're going to see very tangible fat loss with very tangible strength gains. Not as much as if you were cutting or bulking, but they will be there. In 5 weeks, you just kind of get an idea of what would happen if you kept going with it. I also will say again, if you are a beginner, just do not do this. This is very stupid and inefficient for you to do as a beginner. And even as an intermediate like I am, it's probably not the most efficient. Again, I explained why I wanted to do it in the previous video. So all in all, that's kind of where I stand with this recomp. Would I do it again? Possibly. I'd really have to get in the mindset to want to do it for maybe twice as long or 3 times as long. And that would be a serious commitment. I don't know if that's worth the rewards, because again, it's still probably much more efficient to just bulk cut cycle. There's a reason why 99% of guys who have great results, guys and girls, do some kind of a bulk cut cycle. It's just proven to work the most efficiently. So that's all I have to say about the subject. If you have specific questions about the recomp, ask them down below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And join us over at Facebook at facebook.com/feedingfitness. I'll see you guys next time.